And people are saying like Justin Gaethje, he's older than that lad. He's 2 years older than Dan Hooker.
That's true.
Dan Hooker couldn't grapple off his ma. You know what I mean?
Okay, strong statements about Dan Hooker there.
He said that, right, which is a wild line. He was just having a laugh. And I know a lot of people are shocked by this. And I know a lot of people said that's out of bounds. It's off limits. Have a bit of respect. You're a trash human being. I mean, all you got to do is have a look on Twitter and some YouTube comments. People are really going after Paddy for this. And obviously Dan Hooker came out with a wild response as well. We'll get to that in a second. But just on Paddy here, you got to remember, he's a lad from Liverpool where they do have a great sense of humour, but also, you know, it can be a little cutting. It can be a little bit dark. And he was speaking to another English guy. Now, as I say, I'm not defending the fact that he brought up Dan Hooker's mom, right? He should not have done that. But in the context, right, it wasn't that bad. He never said anything too bad. He was basically just talking about the grappling of Dan Hooker. Now, should he have mentioned his mother? No, absolutely not.
Paddy Pimblett has taken things with Justin Gaethje to a whole new level. And this isn't just casual trash talk anymore, it's personal. What began as an offhand jab has escalated into one of the most tense and uneasy rivalries. Currently brewing in the lightweight division.
You know, Islam going up, Ilia not fighting in January. You know, you could have never predicted these things. So, you know, I've been trying to speak it into the ether for a long time now. I'm going to fight in January. I was going to beat Ilia, and then I was going to fight Max on a White House card, but things are shifting and still
wrestling classes, because when the training camp comes, I try to mix it up and polish everything that I have been able to learn, everything that worked for me in wrestling and boxing. I want to develop all the time my knowledge. I want to get better all the time, and I can get better if I only go and train MMA. I need to learn new techniques. Like in BJJ, you never end up learning. One thing is what you know, and the other is what you do with what you know.
Who do you think should be next for Ilia?
Who should be next for Ilia? 55 has always been so cloudy at the top. Maybe Gaethje. I think him going to 170 to fight Islam, if Islam wins, is a stretch. You know, Islam's big, man. I've never seen Ilia in person, but he seems smaller. I know obviously he can knock anyone out. I do think if they fight, Ilia can knock anybody out from 45 to 170. He has the skills, the power, the technique, and but we've just never seen him in there with somebody that big and somebody with that caliber of wrestling. But I think he should defend the 55 title a few times before that's talked about.
Paddy Pimblett recently went after Dan Hooker with a harsh insult, claiming he couldn't even wrestle someone off his own mom. While the comment targeted Hooker, it caught Justin Guy's attention because Guy didn't just laugh it off, he responded, publicly defending Hooker. Guy called out Paddy's talk, questioned his record, and criticized the way he's been fast-tracked into major fights without earning the same experience. From that point on, this matchup shifted from simple hype to genuine tension, turning into a rivalry fueled by real bad blood.
I've never had a proper war where we're both cut and bloodied up. I'd love a fight like Adesanya Gastelum. I'd love a fight like that. But I don't think Justin Gaethje is the man to give me it. I just don't think. I love biting down on my gum shield and swinging punches. You never know, I might end up doing that to him. But I just can't see him getting past the third round. The only way he beats me is a big overhand right or a big left hook. I genuinely can't. I don't see anywhere he's better than me, even on the feet. I know he's an amazing striker, but so am I. So I just don't see anywhere he beats me.
Paddy wants to fight Ilia. Ilia wants to fight Paddy. Yeah. That's what they want, but I'm here to fuck it up again. I'm going to do the same thing I did for the Khabib and Tony thing. I'm going to fuck this up. Paddy Pimblett, I mean, this guy's got a ton of momentum, you know, a ton of confidence, and those are two variables that are tough to beat. I'm going to have to really steal that momentum early, and I know he's going to make mistakes, so I have to be ready to take advantage of these mistakes. Such a fucking crazy sport, but Paddy Pimblett is a very popular guy right now, and it's going to do great things. I'm going to beat Paddy, I'm going to beat Ilia, and then I got to get Max back.
How do you not be a fan of Justin Gaethje? That is your favourite fighter's favourite fighter. Everyone loves watching Justin Gaethje fight, but everyone was fighter entertaining and he puts himself in a war. But when you watch him as a fan, it's unbelievable. But then when you break him down to watch him as an opponent, you see a lot of holes in his game and I want to exploit them. I'd love to have a scrap with him. I would have. In all my years of fighting, including my amateur fights, 35 fights, I've never really had a war. So it'd be nice to finally get one with the king of them, but I don't think it'll get that far. I think I'll finish him.
Tension that had been simmering is now coming to a boil. Paddy Pimblett has fully embraced the drama, standing firm on his remarks and insisting that Guy represents the old guard, respected and tough, but ultimately beatable. That swagger has riled up fans who know Guy is one of the most battle-tested fighters in the division. Stylistically, this matchup is a nightmare for both men. Guy brings non-stop pressure, punishing leg kicks, and a readiness to turn every moment into a grueling war of attrition.
My amateur fights, 35 fights, I've never really had a war, so it'd be nice to finally get one with the king of them, but I don't think it'll get that far. I think I'll finish.
Were you a Justin Gaethje fan prior to any thought of fighting him?
I am a Justin Gaethje fan, not was, I am.
Yeah.
And anyone who is an MMA fan and isn't a Justin Gaethje fan isn't an MMA fan. Like, I always say, he's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter. He's one of my favourite fighters, one of the best fighters that you can watch. And the fact that I'm now getting in there against him is what dreams are made of.
And he's made no secret that he wants to keep this on the feet. We know his knockout power, but your submission skills are so slick. Do you want to take it to the ground? Oh, okay.
I'll keep it on the feet with him.
Yeah.
It might come as a surprise to you. Paddy the Baddy says that he's a weird fighter. He knows he's a weird fighter, and you can't bring anybody into training camp to mimic him, that he wrestles weird and he grapples weird. Do you see Paddy that way? I don't see Paddy that way. That's not an insult. It wouldn't be a compliment if he was weird. It's not an insult that he's not weird. I don't see him that way. I don't see him as a stranger. It makes me want to go back and rewatch some Paddy fights and see what weird things did he do. And there are weird guys. Weird just meaning unique. Wonder Boy's got an extremely weird style. Lyoto Machida had a very unique style. Paddy the Baddy believes that he has a weird and unique style, and I'm just wondering where. Like, there's been guys that we've seen that have come along on the ground. Over time, there was something that got introduced to us known as the rubber guard. But I don't see that from Paddy. I don't see a weirdness. I don't see something that Gaethje isn't familiar with or that he hasn't dealt with before. Now, is it a good idea to stand up with Justin Gaethje if you're Paddy Pimblett? So many people say no. But I'm not certain that we know that answer is no. I'm not certain. I find it lazy. If I'm to use a word, I'll use the word lazy. I find it lazy when a fight analyst reverts back to 1993 and starts talking about a stand-up guy versus a ground guy. I just don't know that that's true with anybody. I don't know if there's anyone on the roster that you could match up with anybody else on the roster. And you could say, okay, if it's stand-up, for sure, this athlete's going to win. If it goes to the ground, for sure, this athlete's going to...
Guy thrives when opponents panic, lose their footing, or accumulate damage. The fight stays upright for long stretches. Paddy's risk skyrockets. But Pimblett believes that's where he shines. His style thrives on chaos, scrambling, sudden grappling exchanges, and rapid transitions that turn minor errors into fight-ending opportunities. Even with Guy's improved defensive wrestling, he's still at his most exposed when the fight loses structure precisely the environment where Paddy feels most at home. That clash of approaches is what makes this matchup so compelling and unpredictable for fans in England.
Hey,
Speak English.
you want to talk to me like the man-to-man? You said something about me. I went to your country. I slap your face. I get at the waist and grin. I walk like a king in your street.
Are you talking English?
And what
there?
you did? What you
Is that
did,
English?
Man? Yeah, of course I
Speak
do.
English for the people.
Shut up.
Not German or Spanish like you're from.
I'm talking in English and fuck you in English y que te follen en español.
Yeah, Espanol because you're Spanish.
It's pretend to be Georgian when you're
what
not.
you,
You were
what
born
I
in
did to
Germany
you in your
and you live
country.
in Spain.
Try to do it
You
in
were
Spain,
born in Germany
and you're gonna see
and
what's
you
gonna
live in
happen to
Spain.
you.
You're a little mongrel.
Shut up.
That's what you are. You're a little mongrel.
Shut up. If not, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna crash your face right here.
Do it then, you
Mash
little
it up.
fart.
You have another question?
Do it. Do it then, you little What? Do it. Do it. Come on, do something then. Do something, stand up. What'll you do? You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing, you little fart. Go and sit back down. Sit back down, you little puta.
Fuck. Everything you talk.
Little mushroom. You little chorizo, you Spanish sausage.
Have you allowed yourself to think what a fight with Ilia looks like?
Yeah, I think I beat him up as well. You know what I mean? There's weight classes for a reason. And if he wants to fight me at 155, it'll get seriously messy on his face. No, Ilia's going through a lot of stuff and wish him nothing but the best with it, know what I mean? That's nothing to do with us fighting, it's nothing to do with being in the cage. So all that around family life, I hope everything goes perfect for him. But he does finally come back and get in the cage, I want to punch his face in.
Yeah.
Look at me,
Well done, lad.
Look at
Well
me.
done.
Look at me.
That was a heavy knockout. I'll give you that respect. But you will never knock me out.
I'm going to submit you.
Knock me
You
out.
live. What I'm going to do with you? I'm going to put my balls in your
You can't knock me out. You know I don't get knocked out.
You get knocked out.
I finish
get knocked
you.
out even before the fight.
I finish you, little
Get
man.
that your ass from here.
I finish
Get
you.
that
As a guy who spent time in the cage with Paddy, what kind of a chance do you give Paddy if he gets that Ilia Topuria fight?
Paddy is better than most will give him credit for. His octagon presence was on point. He knew where he needed to be. He was completely okay with getting taken down that first round. He kept great distance, kept me off with the kicks. Topuria being a little bit shorter than me, but great punching power. I think Paddy would have a good chance to keep it past a round or two because he's not going to engage as much as Oliveira did. But ultimately, it's definitely a mismatch. And that's just because we're talking Ilia Topuria. I think Ilia Topuria is easily the most talented guy, not just in our division, but I think in the entire sport.
What about Ilia? Because he's moving up to 155, right?
Yeah, always.
And you guys have a long history.
Yeah.
That press conference 2 years ago was one of the most fucking entertaining press conferences of all time. Your chirps, like calling him like a fucking chorizo sausage and shit.
That's what he should have changed his name to,
It
lad.
was funny.
He's changed his nickname to a shit nickname, hasn't he? Like Legend or something.
Yeah.
Should have changed it to El Chorizo. Would have been well for you.
What do you make of his like evolvement? Because that was a long time ago, and now he's kind of fucking leveled up like
Yeah,
crazy,
he has.
right?
But we always knew he was a good fighter. Know what I mean? Like that's something what pisses me off about him. Even though I hate him and I think he's a bellend, like I wouldn't lie and say he's a shit fighter because he's not. But that's what he says about me, and it made me laugh when he said, "What did he say? He called me fat." That's like, lad, you can't make your weight division anymore that you are champion of, and you're trying to call me fat. He's a midget, lad. He's tiny. He's smaller than Michael Chandler. You'll see what I do to Michael Chandler next Saturday night when I dismantle him, and it'll be a very similar game plan to beat Ilia. He's small. He walks forward, swinging shots. I'll kick him up and down the octagon, and I'll either knock him out or submit him. Like that fight's there down the line. No, 100%. That fight's got to happen. That's a fight that you can have as a pay-per-view main event with no title on the line.
That gives me like chills just thinking about that. The press conferences and shit. That'd be crazy.
The press. They'd have to do a world tour for that, like they did with Aldo McGregor. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, Ilia, you know, it's there anytime. Know what I mean? Anytime, lad.
Because it seems like they don't know what to do. Because Ilia moved up. I don't know if Islam wants to fight him or not. So like he's looking for an opponent.
Yeah.
It seems like this fight is really going to decide a lot of stuff in that whole division.
Yeah, it is. As I've said it a few times, like the old guard of the lightweight division, they're all on the way out. You've got Chandler, who's 38. You've got Dustin, Justin, and Charles, who are all 35 and older. I think even Danaher might be 35. Moicano's 38. Dariush is 38. In the next 2 or 3 years, the top 10 is going to look completely different. The only person in the top 10 I can think of who's under 35 is Arman Sarukian. He's just a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by his dad.
Do you think he actually got injured or no? Or what do you think happened?
No, he's a little bitch ass. That's what you are, Arman. Little boy.
I was confused too because we had him on the pod that week too, and then I don't know, he was doing videos too with Nina drama. He was like wrestling and shit.
Yeah. And then he was doing them videos where he flips forward on his neck.
Right.
And then he's saying that he's got a bad back. Dana said, didn't he? It was like Dana shot him down in that interview. I was like, whoa, that's heavy, that. You don't want the boss saying that about you. But
as fight week approaches, the stakes feel increasingly personal. This matchup has moved beyond rankings. It's about respect and proving who truly belongs at the top versus who has been talking out of turn. Guy views Paddy as unproven, while Paddy sees Guy as someone he can defeat. In a sport as advanced and dynamic as MMA, that clash of confidence and reputation only adds intensity to an already high-stakes battle.